Welcome back, everybody. I've been a bit of a busy little beaver since the last episode. Wanted to get a few things taken care of offline before instead of making everybody sit through it here. Basically, I spent a few hours doing a whole pile of trades, all in Argon territory. Uh, I made a bit of a long trek over to, where is it? Legends Home, and that's this leg down here on the universe map. And that was to pick up a docking computer because, I just can't. Well, I can, but I hate doing the trading stuff, having to wait for autopilot to actually dock. So the docking computer makes things a lot faster and a lot easier. I've also got a jump drive on this thing. There are two things of interest that are going on, actually three. The first is that during some of these trading missions, somebody just at random was flying a Mercury tanker and offered to sell it to me for a whopping 80,000 credits. Now these things sell for 500,000 credits new at a shipyard, so that was a no-brainer to buy that thing. So there it is, sitting there in my property-owned dialogue. Now the funniest part is when I bought the thing from him, he just ejected and flew away in his little astronaut suit, which was just really funny, made me giggle. And apparently the ship he was flying was the one he was selling, so whatever. I've been using it just to do ore and energy cell hauling because it can hold a lot more than my Mercury can. The tanker is the bigger version of the Mercury. But we're going to be putting him to a different use here shortly. Now, the second thing of interest is that I have enough money now to buy a station, and that's what I'm going to do here and get set up. And the third thing of interest is related to that. Notice I have a hired supply mammoth. To do this sort of thing, incidentally, this is how you deploy a space station or a complex before you own your own station transport sized ships. Because they're 28 million credits for a mammoth, so we obviously don't have that money yet. But you can hire them, and they're pretty cheap. They charge you 3,000 credits for every gate they fly through. Here, we're going to be doing one gate, and I'll explain that in a minute. To actually get them to do something, let's undock here. Oh crap, let me adjust that. I did forget about this. Sorry, folks. Drop that to 60. Drop the music down to 30. Well, 40.
Command
40's
accepted.
good.
Command accepted.
There. Alright, sorry about that loudness there. Okay, anyway. To hire a transport ship, you just have to fly around a sector until you see one on the map. And here's the mammoth, because we've already hired it, but whatever. It just shows up in the list. You click on it, and you hit comms. So you have to be within 25 kilometers to talk to it.
You are talking
You hail
to
it.
the automated interaction system. Make your request.
And once you've hailed it, you talk to the captain.
Captain speaking. Are you trying to make contact?
Now, right now they're moving to the shipyard, which is what I've told them to do. But initially, your options will be stuff like, I need you to transport something. That's all you have to do to hire them. It's pretty simple. So right now, they're executing the move to shipyard command. And I'm going to take some advice there from my intrepid viewers, and I'll just use the autopilot to point to these stupid things so I don't have to find them by hand. That does work out a lot nicer.
Autopilot on.
Okay. Now where is the mammoth in relation to this? I'm just going to stop here. The good news is, the bad news is you have to let the ship actually make the maneuver to dock over at the shipyard. The good news is you can use CETA, so it doesn't take so long. Now where is the mammoth? Way over there. Alright, so it should come into our field of view pretty quickly here. I'm just going to use CETA to let him park at the station. Now, building stations is a little bit strange. It's got a different interface than you're expecting. You have to park a ship at the shipyard that's capable of holding your space station. They come in little tiny kits. Little tiny. It's a very silly word for it because they're huge. But you pack the kits onto whatever ship or ships that you're using, and then you get the ship to the sector where you want to deploy the station. Then you tell the ship, drop the freight here or deploy here. And the kit will automatically expand itself into the station you want once it's in space. It's kind of neat. But it's a bit weird the first time you see it done. Okay, so there goes the mammoth, and he's just getting parked. Okay, so he's there. You can't target him anymore, but you can see him parked. So let's turn that music down just a little bit more. There. Okay. Now to make use of all this, once the ship is landed, you just do a regular trade. Now, we can't afford much of anything here. I've got 360,000 credits, and that's more than enough for the one type of factory that I'm interested in right now. And that is the cattle ranch. This makes the raw materials that kahuna bakeries use to manufacture those delicious meat steak kahunas. So, we want to buy one of these. It asks what ship you want to load it onto, so we're going to tell it to use the supply mammoth. That's the only one we can use.
Cattle ranch bought.
And there we go. We've made our purchase. Huzzah! So, we exit out of that menu. Then, we use the landed ships option from the shipyards menu, and that's how we find the supply mammoth. We hail it again.
You are talking to the
Captain speaking. Are you trying to make contact?
Now we want it to move to sector. I'm actually going to drop this thing in Home of Light, because there's all sorts of stuff out there in Home of Light that uses meat steak kahunas, and nothing that produces them. And there's nothing, there's no, let's make sure of that, but there's, oh sorry, there is a kahuna, there are kahuna bakeries, but there are no cattle ranches, so we can actually feed the kahuna bakeries with our factory, and since we're the shortest route, that'll make things pretty handy, and should be able to help to corner that market a little bit. It's not the, it's possibly, arguably not the best placement in the universe for this, but it should work pretty well. So we're going to calm these guys.
You are talking
to the captain.
automated interaction.
Captain speaking.
And ask
Are you
them
trying
to
to make
move
contact?
to the sector Home of Light.
Yeah.
She's real chatty. Okay, so they're on the move. Nice and slow. Keep in mind that mammoths are one of the slowest ships in the game. These huge freighters are really, really slow. But they're handy. They can carry a whole ton of stuff. Oh, I think they're going to jump. Oh, damn. No, they're not. That's a bummer. Would have been nice if they had jumped instead of making us wait for them to fly through the gate. Oh well. Let's go through ourselves. I would jump, but there's no point. I've got the energy cells for it, but I just don't really want to. Now, one thing we will need is energy cells to power our station. So let's get the tanker busy getting that for us. By the way, I'm pressing R to get to the property owned dialog. Arrow down to the tanker. Go to orders. That's just regular C in this menu. Now we want to navigate. We're just going to guess here, by the way. He's in Heron's Nebula already, so let's have him head over to Power Circle. And I'm going to take a guess that the XL power plant has the best price.
Docking granted.
Now, once he's in the
Command
system, we'll be able to
accepted.
verify that for sure. But until then, we just got to give him a point to fly to, so that's it there. So he's on his way to go get energy cells for us. Once he's in the system, we'll have to check around and make sure that he's at the cheapest retailer. Then we'll have him buy up a bunch of energy cells and deliver them back to our station here so that it can run and do its thing. That's not critically necessary, because you can just feed the station money and it will eventually be sold energy cells from different suppliers and vendors. But we'd rather supply it ourselves at the cheapest price we can to get started making money as quickly as possible.
Entering system. Home of Light.
Alright, all we're going to do is get the hell out of the way of the gate. Then we're going to turn back around and watch the thing, so we can just wait for the mammoth to arrive with our new shiny new station. Our new shiny new station. That was fantastic. Grammar is fantastic. Alright, so we slow down our ship, turn it around. Okay. Applying negative thrust so we can try to slow down a little bit quicker. I don't actually know if that works or not. I'm going to back off that gate just a little. There we go. Alright, now we use CETA. Just wait again. There's our mammoth. Let's check and make sure if our... Let's see if the tanker made it in there yet. Nope, he's still at Heron's Nebula. Let's cheat a little bit and use CETA to get this done too. Okay, so we head up to Power Circle. Now we can check the different power plants' status. He's selling at 13. That wasn't a terrible guess. He's selling at 12 though, so that's where we want him to go. Yeah. Alright, so you park there instead. Oops. No. Stop that. Wrong ship. Go back to the tanker. Let's tell him to dock at that station. Whoops. Yeah, you park there, please.
Docking granted.
Okay.
Command accepted.
Next up, we hail the mammoth.
Argon. Supply. Mammoth.
You are talking?
Captain speaking.
Now we're just going
Are
to
you
have
trying
him.
to make
We're going to have him
contact?
drop our freight right here. You don't have to position the ship anywhere in the system. It just has to be in the system. You don't have to put it anywhere special. Say unload. There's only one thing for them to unload, and that's our cattle ranch. Hit enter, and now we get the system map. I'm using the number pad 4, 6, 8, and 2 keys to move the station to its proper position. Now I want my complexes to be right by the gates, so we basically just want them right outside the gates here. And the other neat trick that we're going to use, you hit the insert key, and the map goes to a side view where you're looking at the Z-axis, where you can move up and down. Now, where's the north gate from here? I want to make sure I don't... okay, good. I'm above the north gate. That's what we want. We want to be higher. So we start at the gate here, and we want to go higher than the gate by at least 10 kilometers. Actually, 10 is probably a good number right there. Hit insert again, and now we're back at the regular kind of floor plan, top-down view of the ecliptic disk, I guess they call it, of the system. So I'd say this is a good placement. It's out of the way. Nothing's going to slam into it. It's out of the traffic lanes. But it's very close to a gate, which is super convenient. So we hit enter.
Everything's just
And
fine.
she'll
We'll start
unload.
unloading here. It's been a financial pleasure meeting you. Come back soon.
With that smirking grin, I don't think so, lady. Ta-da! There's our first station. Yay, commerce. Okay, so that's it for the Argon. I don't believe they are hired anymore. Now if we look at our property, we see that there is a cattle ranch, and it is blinking yellow because it is missing stuff. If we hit info, that's the letter U, we see that it's got 0% of its needed resources, and all it needs is energy cells. That's pretty straightforward. You just need to feed it juice, and it produces beef. Pretty scary, actually. Straightforward thing. Makes you wonder, are they synthesizing this crap? Anyway, just a funny thought. Now let's see if our Mercury has reached its destination. Looks like it hasn't. We're going to locate him in the sector map and see how he's doing. He's almost there, though. We'll load him up with energy cells. Probably not a full load because I don't think we've got quite the cash for that, and we want to have some liquidity left.
Incoming message.
Oh good, I set him to tell me when he was finished. Let's go here to our Mercury tanker, do some trading. Oh, I guess we can take a full load of energy here. I forgot they're cheap. Right, okay.
Energy cells.
Huzzah.
Bought.
So now we're full up on energy. Let's target our new station.
Cattle ranch. M. Alpha.
Now we can tell the Mercury tanker a couple of things about it. First, we're going to bring up the command console again. We're going to set the home base of this tanker to our cattle ranch. Now, he doesn't have any special trade commands yet because we haven't upgraded him, but that's okay. Navigation, we just want him to dock at my target, which is the cattle ranch. And
Docking
there we go.
granted. Command accepted.
So now he's going to head over this way. Ah, notice the supply mammoth is going to fly back out, head back to Argon Prime, which is convenient because we might want to use him again. Now, while we're waiting for our supply of energy to come back, whoosh, off he goes. Let's do one thing. Let's take a look at the station parameters. Now, it's a good thing for a station to have some money. We should put more than we have into the factory, but I'm going to give it 10,000 to start, just so that in the event of an emergency, it can actually buy a bit of energy and keep going. Nope, that's too much. Damn. I keep forgetting you can just type the number you want and transfer it that way. Oh well. $10,000 will do.
Funds transferred.
Now, we don't want to pay too much for energy cells, so we're going to drop that to 15.
New price selected. New price
Now, you'll
selected.
notice up here, there's 3 digits, there's 3 numbers. There's the average price, 104, the current selling price, 104, and the minimum price, which is beneath it, 80 credits, that you have to sell at to break even. Now, if we pay less for energy,
New price
notice that we
selected.
don't have to sell our new beef for quite as much. If we only buy energy at its cheapest,
New price selected.
we can actually sell our new beef at pretty much its floor price and still make money. But if we drop our price competitively a little bit, say down to 80, we're still beating the price of stations 2 jumps away. Actually, 82 is pretty good, but we don't need to worry about that too much. We're going to leave the price set at 104 for now.
New price
And we'll
selected.
set energy cells to 14 so that if we need them, we
New
can actually
price
buy the damn
selected.
things. Next, let's see if the tanker has gotten here yet. I'm sure it hasn't, but let's go look. Still in power circle. Gotta love those fast engines. Oh, let's address that message that's waiting for me. That's just from my ship. Okay, so he's now in Heron's Nebula. Let's watch him make that slow, lonely journey. Heron's Nebula is a big system, too. Heron's wasn't a bad place for a cattle ranch either, but I figured this would be a little bit better because there's a station we can directly supply with the wares that we produce with our cattle ranch. Isn't this exciting, watching a map update little dots? It could be argued that I should be doing some trading while we're waiting for this, but meh, I'm feeling lazy this morning. I have to get to work in an hour. I want to thank you folks again for all the feedback. I actually had recorded a part 3 prior to this and decided to ditch it because this is, I think this is more informative and useful, demonstrating how to actually put a station together, pick a good spot for it, and start trading. Now, the neat thing, of course, when you have, what is it? When you plant a station in Argon territory, that opens up the stock exchange in Argon territory. You can use the Argon stock exchanges then. Now, of course, a lot of people consider them to be imbalanced, and they throw off the gameplay a little bit if But just so you know, you can use it if you want lots of money. You can generate it that way. Just go to the stock exchange and do the same thing I was doing at the Talati one. It works the same way. The actual naturals that fluctuate all the time may be different depending on the stock exchange, but it doesn't matter. There's always going to be something that works the same way. Okay, now that was Argon Prime, I think. Yeah, there he is. Where is he?
Mercury
Oh, wow, he
tanker.
already jumped up and got, oh, haha.
Cattle Ranch M Alpha.
Oh no, he is still yellow, okay. That's weird, usually the station will blink yellow in the reticle too. Unless I'm, nah, maybe that's just the map. Anyway, we'll wait for our little tanker to dock. Then we'll load the energy off, and we will see our station get to work doing its cool stuff. Okay.
Incoming message.
So, let's move some energy cells. Oops. Let's do this differently. Landed ships. Mercury tanker. Trade. There we go. Now, when you've landed a ship at a station and you've got lots of stuff on the ship, you'll notice that you can start transferring stuff. The menu gets bigger. We're just going to move all the energy cells we bought over to the station.
Energy cells transfer.
Now, if we look at the info, resources needed, 100%. And you can see this progress bar moving. It's actually manufacturing. So if we turn CETA on, we get to see this progress bar fill up, and now we have 6 ARG new beef ready to sell. Now we have 12. And soon we will have 18. So that's it. That's a station. Let's go dock here and save.
Docking granted.
Now you see how quickly the ship
Autopilot
docked.
activated.
Even the Mercury tanker docked because it came out of that gate. We didn't even see it. By positioning the station this close to the gate, but 10 kilometers above it, we don't risk collisions, we don't risk traffic jams, but we're really, really close to one of the gates. So that makes it much easier to supply your station, all of your stations and complexes. Now in the next installment, I'll come back after this thing has churned out some money,
Successfully docked.
Welcome
and
back on board.
what we'll do
Connection
is
to
set up a
local
complex.
trading network established.
We'll set up another few cattle ranches, so we're churning out lots and lots of beef. Then we'll start actually adding kahuna bakeries and start competing with the existing bakeries in the system, and we'll actually be able to put them out of business eventually. They won't go away, but they'll stop being supplied and they'll stop being frequented by undercutting their price. It's very evil, but it's lots of fun. Okay, so let's save the game, and I think for now that's gonna have to do. That'll have to do for this installment, that is. So yeah, stick around for part 4, and we will get further into the fun of commerce in this game. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time, folks.